Okay, I hope everybody was able to make their test page successfully because we're going to be using this in future tutorials. So if you erased it, put it back up. Um, one of the really neat things about your website is that it has been specially designed to help you write for the web. Writing for the internet is a little bit different than writing a paper for, a college paper or, if you're writing a book, in how we handle paragraphs. Traditionally, um, people will, when they're starting a new paragraph, they will indent, the first line and then have the next lines not be indented. But when we're writing on the internet, we do everything with line breaks. And actually, you may have noticed this already, but if you hit enter or return, if you're on a Macintosh, if you hit enter on your keyboard, it does a double space. So it does it automatically. And some people think this is really annoying and they don't like it, but it's actually doing that for a very important reason, and I'll show you how. I'll show you why right now. I'm going to go over to my website. I've created a special page for us to look at some text samples here. And I have a couple of different ways of writing that people typically use when they first start writing on the internet that are not necessarily wrong, but not as good. The first is block text. Some people just want to write big, really large paragraphs. And on the internet, your readers, they have the ability to scroll up and down the page. And this is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because, they don't have to click to the next page to read more information. They don't have to flip to the next page, so it's a lot easier than even reading a book in that sense. But at the same time, when they scroll down a page, they always lose their spot. And if you've written a long post, they're going to be scrolling their page quite a bit, and they're going to lose their spot every time because the entire page moves, and it moves to who knows where. So writing in large blocks of text like this is kind of a no-no for the internet. The second method that a lot of people will try and do is they'll try to indent. For the same reason, this isn't a very good way to go. Indenting is still, it's better, but it's still difficult, especially when scrolling, to see. And there are actually other reasons why reading online is more difficult. You got the bright screen shining in your eyes and all sorts of things. The screen's constantly refreshing, and it's difficult for people to stay focused for long periods of time. The best way to write when you're writing for the internet is to use line breaks and to use them often. If you notice up here, we have one paragraph is this huge block of text here. Here, that one paragraph I've broken into 3 chunks because it makes it that much easier for people to find their spot when they scroll. And it's recommended that you do a line break every 2 to 3 sentences even, and at least every 4 to 5 lines of text that you do a line break, because if you don't, people can get confused. Using subheaders, little titles to introduce a new section, is also very important when you're writing your website, so that people can quickly scroll down to the information they're looking for and not get lost at all. So, with that in mind, let's go back to the thing that we are the page that we are writing, and write another line of text. This is the second line of text on my test page. Now, there are certain times when you're editing your website that you do not want to double space. And in those special circumstances, you need a way to get around the automatic double space because the program does it automatically. Like, let's say that this is a blog post and I'm to the end of my blog post and I want to sign my name. So I hit enter and it does a double space and I write, "Thanks for reading." And then I want to put my name directly underneath that, and so I hit enter and I put my name. But look, there's that stupid white space in between my name and "thanks for reading." And if I go here, if I click in front of the J of my name and I hit the backspace key to erase the enter, it pulls my name way back up top again. So that's no good. So how do you get around that? Well, the trick is with your cursor right in front of the J, you hold down Shift on your keyboard, and while you're holding down Shift, you hit the Enter key or the Return key on the Macintosh. And bam, there it goes, directly underneath. So that's a cool little trick to avoid the double space default function if you need to. Hope that was helpful. Let's move on to the next video.